So, Artie, what happened to you? You teased something.
Steers it back.
Well, I was doing all right.
I got to steer it back because, I don't know.
I was doing all right.
People are killing me on Twitter. They're like, what about Artie's story?
I was doing all right, and then a college basketball player brought me a scotch.
Former Duke Blue Devil.
Yeah, former guy cost me a lot of money. Okay, I in February, in December, I did a gig in Boston, and again, Vic Lateslas, being on the road, you meet, especially being on Stern, you meet some ladies who are above your pay grade, who are willing to fuck you. Like, if I was a plumber, you don't get these women. But, I might let them think I'd mention their website on the biggest radio show.
Maybe.
That could work.
That could work.
Look, Tanya, what is your website? Write it down.
Then you sneak it in.
So I had about 8 cities. I was living like, I was having way more sex than someone who looks like me should have. But I was really making up for lost time. In about 8 cities, I had chicks who would meet me in hotels, and I'd get them a room at the hotel, and I would just go do the gig, and I didn't have to deal with anybody. And I'd go, and I'd say, let's get that website down, and I'll make sure I mention it, and then I'd fuck her. I'd give her the worst 4 seconds of her life. And then go back to my room and watch SportsCenter. You're talking about the greatest life ever. So I've been good for a long time, for a few years, and in February, in December of last year, I do a gig in Boston. And one of those girls, a beautiful girl, with like a Boston accent, like a Southie accent, sound like Donnie Wahlberg. And those, to me, that's sexy. That
she sound like Donnie Wahlberg?
She was like, "Come on, rip your cock off." Fucking Southie.
The accents up there, man.
So hot.
Yeah.
Real tits.
Oh, you really like the accent? With the,
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Yeah,
I
no,
hate
I
the
love
accents
it.
up in Boston.
It's not
no
like,
offense, but I loved Boston, but not the.
It's not like a strap-on.
Yeah.
She shows up. It's the devil. She's 38 years old. I met her when she was 23, and she still looked great. And the devil is a hot chick with blow, man. And I started talking to her, and unbeknownst to the people I was with, after the show, I hung out with her, and it started a run, like about a month run, where I was taking her on the road and telling her I'd marry her. She had some mouths to feed, and it was bad. And I said, I gotta slow this down. So I got arrested for possession without intent because I had stuff on me in February. When I got out of jail, I got right back on, and I've been clean ever since. AA meetings to me, it's like a mathematical equation. If I go to 4 of them a week, I'm fine.
Right.
As long as no one brings a scotch into a radio show.
Glad I'm highlighting your life right now.
I'm kidding.
For the second time.
If you give me the 10 grand, that's fine. So,
what about the VIG? You don't want the VIG? The VIG's on you.
I'll cover
the VIG's on you because you were gambling. That's your fault.
I'll cover the VIG.
All right.
Now, a woman cop was in charge of putting me in a cell, and women cop generally don't like me. I need a male cop,
Why?
Because they're Stern fans. It's like you know how many times I've been pulled over since I've been on Howard? Like guys go, "Do you know you were doing 90 in a 35, Artie?" Sometimes they have books in their car in case they pull me over. I have your book in my car. Like, you have the book,
right?
Like, in case I pull you over.
I knew I was going to pull you over eventually.
I said that doesn't say much for me. Yeah. So I go into jail cell, and this is one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. Very disturbing. I had a cellmate, and he was a very large, of Hispanic descent. I think a Puerto Rican gentleman, and he was about 300 pounds. There's one toilet, and it's right next to the bunks, And I somehow fell asleep because I still had some heroin in me, and I fell asleep, thank God, because it was a living hell. I wake up about 4 in.morning, and there's something resting on my forehead, and I thought it was like a tumor or something. I don't know what it was. I grab it. This guy is taking a shit, and his knee, while he's taking a shit, is resting on my forehead. I'm going to repeat that.
Is this really? Yeah. Wait.
The guy's knee, while he's taking a shit,
is resting on your forehead.
On my forehead. And he was very comfortable.
Right.
Like it had a red mark. It must have been an hour, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you do in a situation like that?
Reading a magazine. I say, "Excuse me."
Of course.
Here's what I do.
Well, you keep your head stable. Keep your head stable.
300-pound Puerto Rican guy. "Excuse me, sir. Your knee seems to be on my forehead while you're moving your bowel." And it stunk like I'm trying to describe.
Just the thought.
And then what happened was about 5 seconds into it, like he released he let it go, and I felt his knee jiggle on my forehead, and I didn't know how to diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I didn't say anything for a long time.
Right.
I was frozen, and he was just like, I think he saw my eyes. I was awake, and he didn't care.
Right.
You know, I just said, "You through? Everything all right?" I guess, are you done?
Wet nap.
What else can you do in that situation?
He looked at me and he said, "Oh, my bad."
All right.
I said, "Okay, you're bad." And he got the knee off, and it was kind of like it was so hot, like the skin was kind of metallic.
Yeah.
Like it peeled off my forehead.
God.
Yeah, so we had another 4 hours in the cell, and I said, you're done. It's not like the runs, do you? But it was the casual attitude that he had of like he saw I woke up and he just because he had a lot of he was looking at 15 years, and sometimes you give up at some point. Some people think jail is not a deterrent. Oh my God, I've been there. It's a massive deterrent.
Yeah. I
was in LA County for a month and a half in 1996, and I showered in between a blood and a crip who were mad at each other. I was never so happy to be fat and ugly in my fucking life. I don't look like Blair Underwood. So I don't know how people say jail's not a deterrent.
Were you scared that he was going to beat you up or something?
No, because I was being very polite.
Right.
I always wanted to say, I was like, you want me to turn around? You need a colder spot, like the cooler side of the pillow?
Artie, let me ask you a question. So if you're in between the blood and the crip, which one do you face? Or which one are you afraid?
I look straight ahead.
Just don't pay attention to anybody?
I said, yeah, I showered 3 times in a month and a half because it's optional sometimes.
Right.
And so I wouldn't go in there. But the guy finally said, look, you got to shower. I said, are people complaining about me? Do I stink too fucking much?
Why do you really have to shower in jail?
The guy next to me in the cell next to me was there for 9 years waiting murder trial. And he taught me how to make a pussy out of a piece of toilet paper.
Good. Then.
You take the cardboard out and you put it in damp, warm water, and you fuck the thing.
Right. Oh, that's all it is.
That's all it is.
I thought there was some exquisite equation to it.
He said
I could have figured that out.
He said the word lukewarm.
God.
How do you work lukewarm? And then, but he said to me, he goes, Artie, you would never go back to real pussy.
I beg to differ, my friend.
I had this exactly. I said, what pussy are you getting? I had this exact conversation with the guy. Let me make sure I got it straight in my head. Okay, this is what he said. He goes, it don't bitch. It don't complain. It don't spend your fucking money. It don't fuck your friend. I go, she fucks your friend? I go, yeah, man. Why do you think I'm in here? I go, did you kill her? He goes, no. I go, well, why? He goes, because I killed my friend.
Ouch.
I said, dude, you're screaming this. The guards can hear it. I said, I better not be going to testify.
Right. I didn't hear that.
Did he admit to killing his friend? That's the exact conversation I had.
Do you laugh?